Welcome back to the course. Hopefully by this point you're starting to see how all of these pieces are fitting together. You've built your channel, you're making good content, you've got these growth strategies in place to attract an audience, and now we're at the stage of monetizing that audience to make this a real business. And in this training in particular, we're delving into quite a few different methods for monetizing your YouTube videos, aside from the basic YouTube ads we talked about in the previous training. Now, some of you might be fairly familiar with some of these methods, but we're going to go through some tips for each so you can really maximize your revenue. And method number one of my favorites actually, is affiliate marketing. This is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to monetize your YouTube channel from day one. There's no requirements at all to start using affiliate marketing on your channel, and there are people making a full-time income from this alone. And for those unfamiliar, affiliate marketing is where you get paid to sell someone else's products or services. You don't have to worry about making a product, delivering a product, dealing with customers or shipping or anything. You just advertise it using your special affiliate link and you'll get a percentage of the profits. Now, whilst anyone can do affiliate marketing, it works remarkably well in conjunction with YouTube because you're going to have an audience already to promote these products to. And so if you promote products you know are going to be relevant and helpful to your audience, of course they're going to be interested in them. It's win-win-win. A win for the company selling the product as they get more sales, a win for the end user who discovers some great new products that are relevant to them, and a big win for you earning commission just for someone buying something through your affiliate link. Now, as for what products or services to sell, you actually have loads of options to choose from. A great starting place is one of the largest affiliate marketplaces, which is called ClickBank. And you'll find all kinds of different products here categorized into different niches. And then once you've found something that you want to promote on your channel, just get your own unique link from ClickBank and it'll have a tracking code on the end, because this will allow them to tell which sales come from you so you can earn commission on those sales. There's also plenty of other affiliate marketplaces where you can find the right products or services to promote. There's something called JVZoo, there's CJ Affiliate, Pay.com, eJunkie, ShareASale, and countless others you'll find with a little bit of searching. And some of the products and services on these different marketplaces actually have really high commissions. So, for example, if you're selling a $500 product and getting a 50% commission, you can earn $250 every time someone just buys through your link. And when you're promoting products that are highly relevant to your niche and your audience, those earnings can rack up fast because you're just taking these products and services and putting them in front of an audience who you know are going to be quite interested in those products and services because they've come to your channel because they're interested in that topic and in that niche. However, if you have a product or service in mind already that you'd love to promote because you use it yourself and you really like it, well, it's also worth checking out that company's website, because in the footer section at the bottom, they'll often have a tab that says affiliates, where you can get paid to promote their products and services. And even if they don't have that, it may still be worth reaching out to them, dropping them an email, and seeing if you can strike up some sort of partnership by just telling them you have a YouTube audience you think would really like their product or service, and then some of them may be interested in some sort of commission split with you. So clearly there's loads of options, but there's one affiliate program every YouTube creator should be on, in my opinion, and that is Amazon Associates. Yep, that's right. You can earn commission for simply linking people to Amazon. And if someone buys through your link or buys any product from Amazon within the next 48 hours, you'll earn a commission on it. Now, I'll admit the commissions are typically lower with Amazon than with these other marketplaces we've mentioned, but Amazon has the big advantage that everyone already knows it and trusts it. And also, they sell pretty much everything. In fact, you'll notice almost all big YouTubers include Amazon affiliate links in their videos. They link to all their equipment. And you may as well do the same because every purchase earns you a little bit extra, especially on expensive items like cameras, which really adds up over time. Plus, it's useful for your viewers as well. A lot of them will be wondering what equipment you use. So you have nothing to lose by doing this, and anyone can do it very easily by registering with Amazon Associates in less than 2 minutes. And remember, you can have as many links as you want in your YouTube description. So you can list out all your recommendations from different products and services you're promoting and just have them in your description that you copy and paste into every video. So it's well worth doing that with a few different products and services, especially some from Amazon. However, as well as linking to your affiliate products in your description, remember, not everyone checks the description without being prompted. So for the bigger products you're promoting, especially the ones with higher prices where you're earning a higher commission on them, you'll need to explain to your audience why they should buy it and why it's useful to them. The easiest way to do this is if it's a product you yourself use, as you can talk about your own experiences with it. When I first started one of my channels, I made a whole video reviewing the product I was promoting. Because to get sales, you need to create a desire for the product. And so the good news is you're in a great position to do that because you can explain exactly why this product is relevant to your audience. So for me, in my example, I was promoting a health product and I knew that for my entrepreneur-focused audience, the time-saving element of this health product was going to be particularly beneficial, so I focused on that. I also explained my own truthful experiences with the product, so it felt less like a generic ad and more like a story. And as we said earlier in the course, stories are so powerful because people see themselves in stories. And so they see why the product is relevant to them. If you just tell someone something, they'll be a bit skeptical. Whereas if they conclude it for themselves because of your story and your experiences, they'll believe it much more strongly. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be a product or service you've used yourself as long as it looks like it's going to be a good fit for your audience. Just make sure somewhere in your video you actually tell them to go and check it out in the description and give them a reason why it's beneficial for them, because otherwise a lot of people won't even see the link. Now, I'd personally say it's worth testing a couple of different products to see which your audience responds best to. But at the same time, you don't want to go overboard with advertising loads of new products every single video. People need to be exposed to something multiple times before buying it normally. So you're best off finding a couple of products you genuinely really like and you think your audience will benefit from. Because if they hear you talking about the same products repeatedly in different videos, they're going to be much more interested in them than if you're promoting something totally different every single video. So we obviously want to be recommending products that are a great fit to our audience, not just spamming them with loads of random products. That's not really going to get great results. But now, one final tip for affiliate marketing is that it's helpful to use a free link shortening service like bit.ly, and there are others available as well. But not only does shortening the link make it look a lot tidier in the description and means you can hide the tracking code on the end, but also it allows you to track the number of clicks the link gets, and you can see which are performing best and where those clicks are coming from. So that's worth doing once you start using affiliate marketing links, just so you can keep track of everything. The bottom line, though, is that affiliate marketing can be extremely profitable. And now you have lots of options and tips so you can begin finding the right products and services to promote on your channel. Now, though, let's move on to the second strategy for monetizing your YouTube channel. And that is sponsorships. You've got to remember, your channel is an asset. You have the attention that advertisers want, which is why they'll pay you for product placements, sponsorships, and brand deals, also sometimes referred to as influencer marketing. They all essentially mean the same thing. But these sponsorships are different from YouTube ads because you choose who you work with, and the ad is embedded into your actual YouTube video. I'm sure you see these all the time where YouTubers are giving a shout out to a company. You've almost certainly seen a sponsored video for a company like Squarespace, NordVPN, or Audible. Those pop up all the time. But the thing is, sponsorships can be very lucrative for creators. And even though you'll typically earn more for having a bigger audience, if you can match a niche audience with a niche product, companies may still be very interested in working with you and sponsoring your videos, even if you don't have a huge audience. You can also register on influencer marketer marketplaces like FameBit, so sponsors can find your channel more easily and reach out to you. Also, as your channel grows, companies may reach out to you directly with sponsorship offers via your email address on the channel about page. So make sure your email address is up to date on your YouTube channel's about page. However, as a smaller channel, your best bet is to be more proactive and go and find companies that would benefit from being featured in your video, because their target customer if it's similar to your audience and avatar, then it could be a great fit. So just send them an email explaining the opportunity. If they are interested, you can then negotiate terms. And generally speaking, you don't want to agree to a certain amount of sales or views. All you should be agreeing is things like the length of the ad and at what part in the video the ad's going to go, things like that. Just make sure everything is finalized in writing so everyone is clear of exactly what's going to be involved in their sponsorship agreements. Obviously, one of the other key things you need to negotiate is the actual price they're going to pay to be featured in your video. And so here's a few tips for that. First thing, never accept their first offer. Always ask for more. Next, if you're making the first offer yourself, have a price in mind you'd be happy with and initially go in with a higher amount than that. Obviously within reason, not ridiculously high, but go in a bit higher than the amount you have in your mind as wanting to get. This will give you some negotiation room so that when they come back with a lower price, which is what's most likely to happen, you can say something like, well, since I really like your brand, I'd be happy to go a little lower on this occasion and perhaps we could meet in the middle. That's all normally a fair thing to do, meeting in the middle, which is why starting higher is normally wise. Another thing you can do is use something called Social Blue Book to help give you both a starting point in the negotiations. Do bear in mind that Social Blue Book just gives a very rough estimate of a channel's sponsorship value, but as I said, it can be a good starting point. Another tip for price negotiations is that if they're really pushing for a lower price than what you initially wanted, well, what you could do is offer them a multi-video deal. So you say that you can do the price that they're asking for, but if they agree to a contract where you're doing several videos, so they're sponsoring multiple videos from you. So let's say that they won't go any higher than $400, but you were hoping really for $500. Well, what you could say is that if they agree to sponsor 3 videos, so they still get the price they want, but you're making 3 times as much, then you can do the deal. It's always worth looking for these opportunities of getting a regular sponsor because you might find some brands who are good to work with and it'd be a lot easier just to stick with them and do lots of sponsored videos for them rather than constantly be negotiating with new brands every single video. And this way, it would give you guaranteed money for those future videos. You could potentially do a deal for 10 videos or all your videos for the next few months, potentially, if you find the right sponsor who is a great fit for your audience. So the key thing to remember is that viewers are used to having sponsors in videos. So as long as you don't make the sponsored ads overly long and your content's good, viewers aren't going to mind. So it's well worth trying to find these sponsors. And as we said, as your channel grows, people will be reaching out to you instead. Just at the beginning, you've got to be a bit more proactive. Think about who would be a good fit for your channel, who would benefit from being sponsored and being promoted on your channel. Because if you reach out to them, explain the opportunity, some of them are going to be interested in that. Another tip to bear in mind with these negotiations, though, is that if you're just not happy at all with the terms being offered and you really can't reach any compromise, the best thing to do is walk away because there'll always be other opportunities. So don't spend so much time going back and forth with people where clearly it's never going to reach a compromise and you're going to end up settling for something you don't want. No point in doing that when there's so many other better opportunities. So it's better to move on at that point rather than sacrifice what you want to earn or what you want to put on your channel. Don't make those kinds of compromises that you're not going to be happy with. But now let's look at one final bonus tip, and one of my favorites actually, which is that ask if you can use an affiliate link in the sponsorship deal so that you can not only get paid a set amount for sponsoring them, but you can also earn commission on every sale by using an affiliate link. So you're combining affiliate marketing and sponsorships together. And then you're earning even more money in the process because then you have limitless earning potential from the deal. Even if you sell 0, you get the sponsorship fee. But the more you sell, the more extra money you get on top of that. Now, not all companies will agree to this because they'll say, but we're already paying you for putting us in your video. We're not going to pay you for every sale as well. With most people, it's going to be one or the other. But if you really stress that this would incentivize you to push the product to your audience a lot harder and more frequently, Well, some of them are going to be open to it. They're going to see that it's going to give you extra incentive to really do a great job here and push the product to your audience. So some people are going to be open to this. I've definitely seen channels where that's worked, where they've got a sponsorship deal, but their link in the description is an affiliate link still. So they're getting paid twice essentially. So that can be a great tip, something to consider as well. But now you've got an overview of sponsorships, you know the basics of how it's going to work and how you're going to go through that negotiation process. You can go out there, start finding sponsors, start adding this extra revenue stream to your channel. But now we're going to move on to a third revenue stream for your channel, which is merchandise. YouTube have actually introduced a feature, but once you've got over 10,000 subscribers, you can have a little window underneath your videos that sells different merchandise like t-shirts, hats, phone cases, and any of over 20 different merchandise items that make sense for your channel. However, even before you get to 10,000 subscribers, even if you've literally just started your YouTube channel, you can easily offer merchandise to your viewers because there are tons of print-on-demand merch companies where you can create your own merchandise for your channel and for your brand and then just link to the sales page in your description and they'll handle everything else. You just upload in the design and then they're handling the manufacturing and shipping. So Teespring, Zazzle, Cafe Press, those are three of the most widely used print-on-demand companies for merch. And these are great because you have no cost to actually make anything up front. You're just uploading it, and so that when someone goes and buys it, they'll print it then. So you're not going to be stuck with loads of leftover merch if people aren't buying it. And how it works is you just get paid a percentage of the sales price. Obviously, they take a fee for doing all of this. However, the thing with merch is that just slapping your channel name on something random like a hat isn't necessarily going to drive a lot of sales. We need to think more strategically about what our audience would actually want to buy. And so this could be like an inside joke or something that reflects what the brand stands for. And I'll admit, if you're a fairly small channel, you're probably not going to be making loads of money from merchandise, no matter how much thought you put into the design. But it's very easy to set up with no costs, so you may as well give people the option. And if you wear your own merch or just show the merch in your videos and it looks good, there probably will be some people who are going to be interested in it. However, the real reason that I like merch a lot is that it can also help build your brand and grow it further outside of YouTube. Because if someone's wearing or displaying your merch, whether that's a mug, a t-shirt or anything, it's just more exposure for your channel. People might ask about it and find your channel through that. So it's another win-win scenario. However, to really boost merch sales, consider getting a professional designer. We already mentioned sites like Fiverr, but for something more professional, you can try a site called 99 Designs and you'll get loads more choices. Or if you need a free option, you can always run a fan art competition and get people to send in submissions. Another way to increase merch sales that I haven't heard people talk about is to make the items more exclusive. So for example, say you're only going to sell a certain amount of this design and that it's limited edition. Or only have the item available for a certain period of time, which creates this scarcity, which increases the perceived value. So you're using some marketing tactics there to sell more merch, but this definitely will help. The point I'm getting at though is that it's well worth doing merch. It's not going to be your biggest revenue earner at all, but it has these other benefits and it's very easy and simple to set up. And if it's a good design, then there almost certainly will be some people who are going to be interested. Now, let's move on to method number 4, which is crowdfunding. When you're putting out free content that your audience are really appreciating, some of them will want to help support you to ensure you continue making that content. And so crowdfunding and donations can become another very profitable revenue stream for you and your channel. Actually, a large amount of creators, I'd say, are now using this, and many are making thousands every single month just from doing this. So how do you crowdfund? Well, YouTube themselves have actually introduced some built-in ways of crowdfunding for your channel, such as paid channel subscriptions and donations via something called Super Chats, which basically just let viewers donate to you via live streams so that their comment gets highlighted. However, the most popular way of crowdfunding by far, and the best way, in my opinion, of getting support from your audience is Patreon. This is typically where you offer some additional perks or benefits in exchange for a monthly contribution from people. For example, you could offer them access to extra bonus footage you film or a weekly private Q&A, anything that's just giving these Patreon donors a little something extra, a little incentive for supporting your channel. It could even just be the promise that you'll make more YouTube videos if you hit a certain amount of donations. There's lots of possibilities with this, but you're essentially providing an extra incentive, usually in return for a small monthly subscription fee. And of course, if you're putting out great free content, more and more people will start to become a patron of yours, and so that total recurring revenue can add up pretty fast. If you do decide to go for this option and you want to crowdfund and join Patreon, just make sure that in your videos you actually remind people of what you're offering and direct them to the Patreon link you're going to have in your description, because I'm sure some people would be very glad to support your channel. You just need to make sure they're actually aware of what's involved and how they can do that. Let's move on to method number 5, though, for earning revenue from the channel, which is ebooks. Because you could put your knowledge into text format rather than just video format. And then you can easily publish that for free on something like Amazon and other ebook stores and get sales from people looking for ebooks to read. Because this is actually a surprisingly straightforward process. Anyone can do this. And then you can advertise your ebook in your YouTube videos and your YouTube description. And of course, once you've written it that one time, or even paid someone to write it for you, some people do that, they get a ghostwriter, you can then sell limitless copies in the future at no expense at all. There's no shipping costs with an ebook, no production costs, not even any advertising costs, because you're advertising it through your YouTube channel to your YouTube audience, who you already know are very interested in this topic, because that's why they've come to your channel. So writing a book on that subject kind of makes sense. So there's no cost, just profit with this. If you are interested in writing and selling an ebook, then I'd recommend as a starting point, just type in Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and that'll help you get started. Okay, so we've covered 5 different revenue streams so far, all of which you could use simultaneously. Plus, of course, there's YouTube ads, which we mentioned in the previous training. And actually, there's still quite a few revenue streams to come. But the next 2 we're going to be talking about in this training are a bit more advanced. I still want to mention them because they're absolutely worth considering once you've built up a bit of a following on YouTube already. I just wanted to clarify though, these ones you might not be using right from the start. They're more likely you could be introduced a bit later if you wanted to, just as something else to make money from your channel. But let's start with number 6, which is physical products. Because we already mentioned your own merchandise. But what if you took it one step further and created a more unique branded product? Because if you create something that's highly relevant to your YouTube audience and you started using it and advertising it in your videos and telling people they could buy their own, I'm pretty sure some of your audience may be interested in buying it because you are an influencer. I know a lot of people hate that word, but when you're making content that people are enjoying and benefiting from, they are influenced by you and the products you use and recommend. And so there are actually many marketplaces where you can buy items, often directly from China, at very cheap prices. For example, AliExpress is great for buying smaller quantities of products and doing what we call drop shipping, where you just ship directly from the manufacturer to the end user without you ever actually receiving the product. Or there's a site called Alibaba, which you've probably heard of, which is very popular if you're willing to buy products in bulk. So, you'll get a bigger discount by doing that. That latter option though, Alibaba, you can then customize products to suit your brand and your needs. So you can literally work with manufacturers on these products to get them to suit exactly what you have in your mind. You'd of course need to do some research for this in order to trial some products and find the best people to buy from before you actually go and sell anything on YouTube. But I'm just saying, this option could open up a whole new dimension to your business. Like, let's say you have a really specific idea for this new product that would be great for your niche. Perhaps you could then partner with a company to make that a reality and sell that product through your channel. For example, let's say you're in the fitness niche. Could you partner with someone to create your own supplement? If you're in the fashion niche, could you get your own watch designed? Because this is the beauty of YouTube and the internet. Gone are the days where you need a store, a team, and a complex supply chain to sell things. You just need a manufacturer of your product and then you can sell it online to your YouTube audience who already know, like, and trust you. So it's worth considering if you've got an idea for a product. Look at these different marketplaces I mentioned. Alibaba, great starting point at least. And then just kind of go down the rabbit hole with these suppliers of seeing what they can create and whether it suits the vision you have in your mind, or whether you can find someone maybe more locally who can produce it. Either way, creating physical products can be very profitable when you're working directly with a manufacturer because you've already got the vehicle to sell those products through your YouTube channel. Number 7 on our list, though, for making money from YouTube is events and speaking. Firstly, some people might invite you to speak at their events once you've positioned yourself as an expert within that niche, which obviously can be incredibly lucrative getting these speaking gigs. But I think what's even more interesting is the idea of running your own event or creating your own seminar, because you can sell tickets through your YouTube channel to your existing YouTube audience. And not only can that make you a lot of money from ticket sales, but physically meeting your audience and getting like-minded people together is going to help form a really powerful community. I've seen this type of thing work really well, as typically if you run an event, you can then sell a high-ticket program at the end of it. So although we're not going to go too in-depth with this strategy, because obviously creating an event does depend on the niche and there's lots of different variables there, further down the line, this could be a very interesting option to consider, and it works really well with YouTube because you've already got a group of people who would be great to get in a room together and have all in one place listening to speakers and having like a community get-together type of thing. So I think it can work really well. Obviously, lots to consider with this, but something to bear in mind for further down the road once you've got a bigger audience to sell tickets to. But truthfully, we could go on all day here with revenue ideas. Because once you've got an engaged niche audience on YouTube, and once you have attention and influence, there are limitless opportunities to make money. As a useful case study, look at the YouTuber Alpha M, a classic example of a YouTube magnate. He's got millions of subscribers, putting out some great infotainment within his niche, and using a whole bunch of different monetization strategies. Obviously YouTube ads, but he's got lots of sponsors, he's got affiliates, he's got some of his own products. His videos are loaded with calls to actions and his descriptions are brimming with links. And it's working very effectively for him. However, throughout the rest of this module, we're now going to kick it up a few gears. And we're going to be talking about the best ways to monetize your audience. And I do say that quite confidently because what we're going to talk about in the rest of this module is how you're going to genuinely change people's lives for the better and how you're going to build a thriving business that can make you very, very wealthy. I'll see you in the next training.